right. Hello, guys. My name is Nick, and I have been estimating for the past 5 years, as well as doing project management. And I wanted to give you guys some tips and some tricks and just general information on flooring, since that's taken up a lot of the time that I've done estimating over these past 5 years. And a lot of learning came from that experience. So, let's start from just the bare concrete floor. So normally that's going to be level and not necessarily give you many issues or problems to start with. And then we're going to be talking about what goes down for what product. So adhesive is going to be for your LVT tiles, and mostly LVT. You might get some adhesive with the Foss rubber tiling. And then for your, of course, actual porcelain tiles and just real tile, you'll be using mortar for the application to the floor, and making sure that, especially for the mortar, that everything is level is going to definitely be complicated. The adhesive, especially if it's self-leveling adhesive, which you can ask if that actually works or not, but that'll be your first thing, is getting that stuff down, applied correctly, applied evenly, and making sure that everything is level. And then it would be the application next of whatever flooring product that you're going to put down. So I've heard for certain products that are rolled and kind of rolled out, a lot of these guys will leave it on site to kind of adjust throughout a day or two to the temperature, and kind of relax itself to where it can roll out smoothly and not have any bubbles or anything like that in it. As far as towels, you're going to need a lot of towel spacers, those little orange things that you guys have probably seen that'll go everywhere. I didn't take those, at least the spacers per se, into account whenever I would do tile floors for the most part. Xactimate might have, whenever I estimated with that, for pricing at least. And what I used the most for flooring takeoffs was RS Means. But one of the things that, and since we're kind of on the material that we're going to be applying down to whatever adhesive or masonry mortar mix, is working with vendors basically. So you're going to have the Shaws for your carpet. You're going to have certain other vendors who are giving you the laminate, who are giving you all of the Foss and rubberized tiles that have multiple layers and are supposed to feel more comfortable than just straight tile. And you're going to have to take that into account. It's been flooring for me, and it's been HVAC for me that were vendor heavy, and sheet metal was too, but definitely flooring. And so taking that into account, you're going to be having to have that constant conversation back and forth with certain vendors. You're going to have to stay on top of them to make sure that they get you your pricing back in the amount of time that you needed to get your estimate completed. You're probably going to be shopping around between multiple of these vendors, and it's going to be a babysitting job to get these guys to get you your pricing back, and also on the other side, building relationships with those guys. So that's cool. As far as transition strips that go in between each room, you'll have to account for those. And not everything is in transition strips. Just making sure that you take into account how many different times that it changes from certain materials is also important, from one material to another. a lot of the times that you're going to be doing flooring, the cove base of the wall is always going to be taken into account by you. So you're going to have to take into account how it runs, what sort of base it is, what color, what height the base is, as well as the adhesive that would go behind it, or if it's wood, how that's attached to the wall. And I'll give you a tip that I try and give out because I've spent a lot of time in estimating. Pretty much regardless of what you're estimating, you'll be able to use this, which would be going to whatever door that you have on your plans. If you feel like your plans are a little bit off and things aren't matching to the length that you have on your plans, go to the door. A door is normally 3 feet wide. Recalibrate your scale based on that door. I'm going to be using a blue beam normally to do these takeoffs for flooring, and you'll be able to reset the plans towards that, and that should be a lot more accurate than what you were doing before. And for flooring, I guess I'll go through the softwares too. So I said that I like to have a blue beam for flooring to get the square footage counts, because now I'm thinking about it just from that point of view. So square footage for the floor, for the cove base that's going to run around the outside wall, what you can do is get the lineal foot of that and using the perimeter tool on Bluebeam. And you can, if you just want the lineal foot, which would be fine in most cases, that's cool too. If you want to pull a measurement of 3 to 5 inches or whatever the base will be, and then pull the square footage out to meet that, to meet where you made that measurement at, and then pull it all the way out for the entire length of that perimeter, you'll get the square footage for the type of cove base that you're looking for. And I've used PlanSwift for flooring before, and I think those are the only two that I used for flooring itself. And so that is a knowledge dump to you guys. Woo! On flooring, years and years of experience. As I'm telling you guys some of this stuff, I see older faces that are flashing from different workplaces that I've been at, people telling me this and that, trying to help me through and get to where I needed to be, which is great. And if there were more people like this, because I couldn't find anybody in estimating or project management that I could relate to, at least whenever I was starting in estimating and project management 4 or 5 years ago. And even whenever I was transitioning out of the Air Force, well, that was before this point, but I was trying to look for this job because I knew I wanted to go in it whenever I got into the civilian world. And I was just looking, and there's a few things out there, and it's starting to become a little bit here and there, but not as much as needed. So I'm going to put it out there. If you guys want to learn anything more or want to have a better understanding of project management and estimating, as well as life, for me, I was an alcoholic in the past. A lot of guys in the construction field tend to be, and especially coming out of the Air Force. So I have an ebook on that, as well as project management and estimating. You can go to my link in the description, which is to my website, where I have my store, and I have both of those in there. See you guys again.